risking more than others think safe, dreaming more than others think practical, and expecting more than others think are possible. Today, Chris Quinn, our third speaker, is delivering Project 1 from the Entertaining Speaker Manual, which is part of the Advanced Communication Series. The project is the entertaining speech. The objective of this project are to entertain the audience by relating a personal experience, organize an entertaining speech for maximum impact, keep the topic light and have a good time. And the title of the speech is There is Nothing More Expeditious Than Rapid City. Join me in welcoming Chris Quinn.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters, Madam Toastmaster, and welcome guest. I would like to share with you a personal experience I had during my college days. Big Sky, Montana. That is where we were headed for our Thanksgiving and holiday break. I went to Ohio University, and at OU, we get a break, or we had a break from prior to Thanksgiving all the way through the new year. So it was like a 6 or 7 week break each year. And in the fall/winter of, I guess it was 1993, a good friend of mine and I had decided that during this winter break we would go to Big Sky, Montana, with the goal of being lift operators at the ski resort there. And we would ski for 6 weeks, get paid a little bit of money, free room and board, and just have an all-around great time. And our plan was we would leave and allow ourselves a few days to get there so we could see some sights along the way. We wanted to see Devil's Tower in Wyoming. We wanted to see Mount Rushmore in South Dakota. So we allowed some time for that. We took some camping gear, we took some climbing gear so we could do a little rock climbing. It was going to be a great trip. We were really excited about it. And I don't know about anyone in here, but maybe sometimes you've had a plan for a certain trip that looked like this, but in reality, the trip played out a little differently. So we get underway. I guess it was a 1987 Nissan Pathfinder. Had a few years on it, still had a lot of life in it. Pack it up, it's loaded just completely full of gear. My friend and I are in the front seat, and we head out west. And we knew we had about a 30-hour total drive ahead of us, but we were going to break it up over a few days, so it wouldn't be too bad in any one chunk. And we were making our way, things are going great, we're seeing the sights, we're having fun, and we finally make it to Mount Rushmore. And we're checking it out. You know, it's beautiful, you've got the presidents up there, we do a little hike, we're having lots of fun. Get back in the car, start headed back to the interstate, and suddenly my car makes this strange noise. And the strange noise was kind of like, I don't know, maybe a big plastic container full of gumballs and going so it was more than like a little sound that you can ignore and keep going on. So I pull over to the side of the road and we think about it for a minute and turn off the car, and a few minutes later I turn the car back on, and amazingly the sound has gone away. So we keep driving again, and ingeniously I say, I think maybe it took care of itself, the problem went away. So 2 minutes later, it's even worse, the car just stops. So we pull over, and again, this is 1993, pre-cell phone, or at least cell phones weren't mainstream, not for a college student. Not much by way of credit card, not much by way of really anything, no internet, no communication. So we go through the process that you did at that time of, flagging someone down. We ultimately get a tow truck, and they take us to the closest nearby city, which is Rapid City, South Dakota. I had never thought much about Rapid City, never really had any desire to see Rapid City, just kind of wanted to see Rushmore and be on my way. So the tow truck takes us to Rapid City. We have the car inspected to see what the damage is. And we were hoping it was something quick. They fix it, we get on our way. Well, it turns out it's not such a quick fix. The transmission's completely shot. And college student, again, limited funds, not really looking to replace a transmission or buy a new car in Rapid City. My friend had a bit of a timeline because he had already secured a job at Big Sky Montana Ski Resort, needed to be there in about a week. I didn't really have a timeline, but my plan was to be there, maximize the ski time, have fun at the resort. And we're thinking, you have a week to be there, we'll have this thing fixed in a couple of days, we'll be on our way. Well, they get in, it can't be fixed per se, it has to be replaced. And this is an older vehicle, so there's not a transmission just sitting around, it has to be ordered from out of state or from somewhere else. So being, I don't know, maybe I watched too many movies as a kid or something, but I'm a little paranoid. I'm thinking that the garage is out to get us and is overstating this and overcharging, and I'm thinking, it can't be that bad. You know, are these guys really being honest? So I'm making all these phone calls and checking with other people, and in the end, they weren't trying to scam us or anything like that. It was as bad as it was. So finally, they find a transmission. It's in Phoenix, Arizona. We're in South Dakota. I'm thinking, okay, this is going to take a few days to get here. So we realize it's going to be at least 2 or 3 days before the thing arrives. We're very concerned about wasting our money that we plan to use in Big Sky here in South Dakota. So we're camping outside the garage. So we set up the tent. This is South Dakota in November. And I don't know if you're familiar, if you've seen the movie Fargo. It's in North Dakota, but they're about the same. It gets cold, and I mean really cold. And we're camping, you know, outside the garage. There's frost forming on our sleeping bags and faces, and we're all hunkered in. And we don't want to spend money on a hotel. We don't want to spend money on food. So we're just trying to get by as cheaply as we can. And we have no transportation, so we're walking around Rapid City, trying to find cheap food, trying to find things to do. And we're just so bored. I mean, like right now I would love to be bored because I'm always busy, but we're in this situation where, you know, no internet, no phone, no money, stuck in South Dakota. What do you do? So we're wandering around, and we just look like complete vagabonds because we're college students camping here, look kind of like I do now. And a policeman stops us one day as we're walking down the street, asks for our ID because people have called in and say, you know, there's just vagabonds walking around the town. We need to do something with them, get them out of here. And I guess it was probably the 3rd or 4th day. We're like, okay, we've got to do something. You know, how can we make some money or do something? So we go to this day labor line, and we find a place where you can go and you show up, and some guy shows up, hey, I need 10 men who can do roofing or whatever. And we're like, yeah, we'll do that. So we go, we do a roofing job that day, and he's like, I'm going to pay you minimum wage. We go and work all day, and we're lugging shingles and tile up on this roof. And at the end of the day, he said, well, I don't really have a way to pay each of you individually. I can write one check, so I need you to go with these. I'm going to pay this group of 8 of you in one check.
Oh, God.
And we're like, what? You know, we don't know these guys. So he gives one check to this guy, and we're near an Indian reservation, so it's a number of Native Americans, and then my friend and I. And he gives us one check and says, you guys go figure out a way to settle this up. And we're like, you know, we're going to get scammed here. There's no way we're going to pay. So we take it, we hop in this guy's car, it's like a big Impala or something, and we go to a grocery store or something, cashes the check, and we end up getting paid our amount. And we ended up doing that a few more days, that type of work. And after about a week, my friend said, hey, look, I've got to get out of here. So he gets a ticket with Greyhound, takes the bus on out to Big Sky, makes it out there. And I keep this existence going of being in Rapid City, really nothing to do, just doing day labor jobs, and then finally, one other minor detail. So the transmission that was being sent from Phoenix actually got missent, and it went to like Indianapolis or something. So that added another like 3 days or 4 days, and I'm like, I'm stuck in Rapid City. I just went out of here. You're sending it to the wrong place. So finally, the thing makes it to Rapid City. The garage had been very patient. I mean, the highlight of our day each day was going and saying, you know, did it show up? Is it here? Are we going to be out of here soon? And even once it arrived, it took probably a full day of work to get the thing done. Finally, one night, I don't know, they finished it up at 8 or 9 in the evening. I immediately hop in the car and drive all night to go the final 9 hours, I guess it was, to get to Big Sky. In the end, made it there. It was a great experience. great learning experience and very interesting life story. But finally, did make it to Big Sky. I think this is the only photo I have of the entire trip, even the being stuck in Rapid City. Lots of fun.
All right.